Welcome back, Hodlers. Today we're going to be recapping exactly how the weekend went in terms of Bitcoin, in terms of cryptocurrency. I'm going to give you an update on the Bitcoin chart, where I'm thinking about the market cycle right now, what support lines we still have, what I generally think the pulse is of the market. Then we're also going to be talking about a lot of tokens that you should just be keeping aware of, maybe building positions in if you don't already have them. Just some suggestions. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, so take everything that I say with a grain of salt, but hopefully this video helps you navigate this dip, which tokens to buy and everything else. So let's go ahead and get into it. So first and foremost, I wanted to go into the Bitcoin chart right now. Bitcoin is currently sitting at 48,933. We are currently in this channel between the 52,000 and the 42,000 mark. So again, deja vu from the last drop that we were in, and we sat in there for maybe a couple of days until we finally just dropped right down and passed our 42,000 mark. Now, will we go through 42,000? I mean, anything is possible, especially in the context of a potential sell-off in December, because people are mimicking and trying to time the market like 2017, which if you have listened to some of my videos, you know that we could see a drop, but that's not going to phase me that much because I think the peak is going to be sometime in 2022. It could even potentially be in 2023. Can't discount that at all, but right now we are clearly not peaking in cryptocurrency regardless of what some other YouTubers say. So that being said, where can Bitcoin go in the near term? I think right now the best thing for Bitcoin to do is absolutely nothing. Bitcoin goes three ways: up, down, and sideways. That's the only three directions it can go. It can't go backwards, obviously. I would like it just to trade level, just to consolidate right here, accumulate a little bit. A lot of people should be taking this opportunity to accumulate, maybe not so much Bitcoin. You should absolutely be buying Bitcoin, especially if you don't have a lot of Bitcoin. The majority of your portfolios should be Bitcoin. Absolutely. So definitely accumulate more Bitcoin while you can. Any Bitcoin that you can get under 50K is going to be a good price, but you're not getting the bang for your buck that you would be getting with some of the altcoins that we are going to be talking about that are heavily discounted, and we probably won't be seeing these prices anytime soon. So let's go ahead and switch into some of the altcoins. Now, the first token that I want to talk about is Cardano. Obviously, Cardano is currently trading at $1.35. So let's take a look at the chart here on ADA. This is the ADA USD chart. Calculated on TradingView. So I want to basically look at where Cardano is now compared to where it was in the previous consolidation phase and how bullish we should be getting about Cardano right now. Now, the big things to remember is we have things like Sunday Swap coming out. We now have Alonzo. We now have smart contract capabilities, and there's a lot of things happening fundamentally on the Cardano space within cryptocurrency. So it's good to keep that in mind. I think the cult following has kind of dissipated a little bit. People are being more realistic with Cardano and expecting it to do great things, but not so culty like with the token, which I'm absolutely for, because I think the project itself, it's definitely going to be a main player in the blockchain space. But we see here that we heavily consolidated in that May kind of range where Bitcoin dropped, of course, but Cardano really held. It held pretty well too through that whole Bitcoin drama that we had with the Wyckoff model that happened and everything else and all the manipulation, Elon Musk and everything else. We held pretty well. We see the dip, we see what happened here, but relatively we held pretty good. We have, however, suffered pretty hard here, and I'd say a lot of this has suffered because Cardano, the lack of movement with Cardano, but a lot of that is because of Alonzo. When Alonzo came out, and we talked about when Alonzo would come out, we'd see a huge hype and then a burn off on the price. People are just going to sell that news, and over, it's just going to dwindle down. Looking at the chart though, compared to other cryptocurrencies, they've tanked a lot more than Cardano. It is, in my opinion, on sale because we're getting it months back. We haven't seen prices like this in quite a while, since basically mid-August, that we had a breakout. August 10th we had our breakout, so we haven't seen prices like this since August 10th. So we are getting a sale back here in this consolidation range. If we look at prior movements for Cardano, it holds support very well. It holds at these high levels. Could Cardano go lower? I think yes, absolutely. Could it go to sub $1? Here's the thing. If it goes sub $1, we're probably going to see wicks like these, right? So it's more than likely to go sub $1. And we talked about how to limit orders. So you can go ahead and set overnight orders. If you see the chart is getting a little bit bearish and you want to set some order for Cardano at 95 cents, sure. I mean, more power to you if you want to time the market like that. But I would say anytime that Cardano is in this range, it's probably a good buy. Could it go lower? Absolutely. Within this range is pretty free flowing, so we could go all the way down to $1, but most likely I'm expecting Cardano to, at some point, once it gains stability and once it consolidates enough, it is going to make moves higher. In terms of Cardano, the crypto community estimates that its native token ADA will hit roughly $2.40, up 80% by December 31st. If you guys have listened to me, you know that I'm talking about a potential sell-off in December. By the end of December, who knows? I would expect most likely that the sell-off won't end until the new year. But then again, who knows? I have no idea what's going to happen. Could we hit this price by the end of December? I'm going to be a little bit skeptical. I'm going to be a little bit bearish, but I do expect this price into the new year, into early 2022, if we don't see it by the end of December. So I wouldn't be worried too much. I'd expect a consolidation throughout the next couple of weeks. Probably around to the $2.40 mark, back to where it was before, is what I'm expecting it'll happen once the market has kind of recapped itself. In terms of tokens that I wouldn't be buying right now is probably Ethereum. Ethereum's the only one on this. I've said buy Bitcoin, but Ethereum is literally unfazed. We had that little dip with Ethereum, but Ethereum is keeping trucking, which is fundamentally different than the May drop. When we had Bitcoin drop, we had a severe Ethereum drop going with it. Now Ethereum is holding a lot better, which to me tells me that there's still a lot of health in the market. Bitcoin's most likely not going to drop as far as we think it might. If there is some sort of sell-off in December, most likely what that'll do, and just to echo Raoul Pal's ideology with this one, if the market does sell off and people capitulate out of fear in December, it puts a heavy pressure load on the overall price for cryptocurrencies, because there's a bunch selling, there's a lack of supply in exchanges for Bitcoin, for Ethereum. We've been talking about the supply shocks, and what's going to happen is a lot of smart money is going to swoop in and buy the lower prices. At that point, there's a supply shortage, prices are going to surge, and we're probably going to kick off 2022 in a pretty rapid pace, depending on how severe the sell-off could be. If we just consolidate through the December, I think most likely we will make an average trend up. But I guess we'll see. I am expecting some pretty rocky times through this month. I'm not expecting it to be calm waters. Okay, so we talked about Cardano. What about other smart contract blockchains? I put out a poll, and I would say Solana is another buy, absolutely below $200. Definitely take advantage of it while you can. Again, I wouldn't be dumping a bunch of money into these blockchains or Cardano or Bitcoin or whatever. Definitely dollar cost average, continue the rates that you're doing. But I would absolutely be picking up some Solana at this point. Why Solana out of all smart contract tokens? Well, I'm going to be bringing up Polkadot as well, because Polkadot's a great price as well. But the big thing here is if you're bullish on Ethereum, or if you're bullish on Polkadot, if you're bullish on Solana, why not hedge your bet and have a little bit of all? You can have more of one than the other, whatever one you're a little bit more bullish on, but it's good to hedge your bets and buy multiple smart contract blockchains that'll be operating within the space. And none of them are going to go away. They're all fabulous products. The next one obviously is Polkadot, sitting at $27 right now. A definite steal, in my opinion. Anything below $30 right now for Polkadot is a good price, so I'd definitely be taking advantage of the $27 Polkadot myself. Another token that we've talked about a little bit on the channel is Vechain. Vechain obviously trading at 8 cents right now, definitely dropping from what it was before. If we take a look at the chart here, and I think I have Vechain. Yeah, it's scrolling all the way down here. So a definite huge drop for Vechain over this time. We've absolutely got a bit of a sale here. I definitely say under 10 cents is a good buy for Vechain, especially if you don't have a bag. Make sure that you have at least a little bit of a bag. This supply chain blockchain is going to be incredible going into the future. We see cracks in our supply chains right now, and we know that a blockchain that consolidates all that information and validates it within a blockchain is probably going to be extremely valuable in our fragile kind of supply ecosystem that we're sitting in right now. Obviously 2021 has been very volatile. Going into 2022 is looking no better, so I can only imagine the utility that Vechain will bring. So I'm definitely putting this out there. If you don't have Vechain, now's a good time to collect some. Next up would be the Metaverse tokens. We're talking about Sandbox, we're talking about Decentraland, we're talking about Engine, and whatever other Metaverse tokens that you can think of. Most of these tokens are roughly down about 30% on the 7-day. So we see here that Sand is down 31%. So definitely a good price for Sand right now if you haven't bought in any. I know that some of my viewers have been telling me to buy Sand. I've looked at it. I didn't actually buy it, so I did enter it, obviously, at this price, being able to pick up a little bit more into my Metaverse bags. We have Mana also down roughly 30% on the 7-day, doing very well for that. It's definitely a bullish ecosystem for Mana. You guys know that I've been stacking a little bit of Mana here and there, obviously adding to my Metaverse bags, so happy to include a little bit more Mana into that. And then finally, we have Engine. Now, we have plenty other Metaverse tokens, so I wouldn't discount any others. These are only the ones that I feel like talking about right now and the ones that I know the most about. This one on the 7-day is down again 30%, of course, so it's obviously a good buy right now to pick up some Engine, Decentraland, and Sandbox, and whatever other Metaverse tokens that you want to grab. Now, you don't need to grab a lot, especially if you don't understand the space, but it's good to have exposure. Piece of advice that I try to emulate, I know the saying is invest in what you know, but what I like to do is invest what you're willing to lose in what you don't know, and invest everything in what you know. So that's what I do. Sometimes I'm throwing smaller amounts at a little bit of a riskier play, and sometimes it yields something back, and then sometimes it doesn't. That's just part of this game about investing with multiple different projects. If you want to be safe, then just stick to the top 10 cryptocurrencies. I think the other type of tokens that I'd keep on everyone's radar is the exchange tokens like CRO. Obviously, Crypto.com went through a huge pump, down roughly 25% right now. We also have the Cell token, which is also down a considerable amount on the 30-day, roughly 20%. So there's a lot of opportunity in this market to pick up some tokens at a good price right now, and there's still plenty of life. Now, things can go further down, but at the same time, things can also go up, so you could also miss out on some opportunities. But I wouldn't be dropping a lot of money, especially if cryptocurrency can make further moves down before it goes back to the upside. So you don't want to miss out. You don't want to miss out on any opportunities that you can snipe lower price tokens. Hopefully this video helped you, and don't mind me being Harry Potter today. I don't know, I just woke up like this. I have no idea if I scratched myself or what. If you did like this video, go ahead and give me a like. Really helps support this channel. Also, if you could, follow my Twitter at Haws Hodls. And as always, happy hodling.